Analyzing characters. Getting to know the characters or people that you're reading about. Getting to know characters. There are two ways that you can get to know your characters: from their physical traits, how they're described in the text, and from their personal traits, things that you kind of learn about them as you read. Physical traits is about how they look. Pay attention to descriptions of how the characters look. It is very important because sometimes the way we look makes us act a certain way. So look for descriptions of their hair, their face, their body, and their clothes. If an author is putting it in a book, it is literally because it is something that's going to help you understand the character more. And then we have their personal traits, how they act. Descriptions of the type of person your character is helps us understand what motivates them, what are their character traits. This also helps you predict and make inferences throughout the story. So you should be looking for how they feel, what they think, what they say, what they do, and what's important to them. As you are reading, these are the things that you want to constantly pay attention to. So as we were reading, we kind of learned some things about Ramona. So we know right now that Ramona is pretty much a 5 or 6 year old. She's starting kindergarten right now. She's excited about going to school for the first time because she has an older sibling. She believes that she is the youngest person on the block. And so we see that over here on page, if I'm not mistaken, it was on, I want to say that it was on page 10, where she talks about being small, the youngest person on the block watching kids go to school. Yep, so we see this right here. Today she was going to learn to read and write and do all the things that would help her watch. It says here, boys and girls in the neighborhood go off to school. Today she was going to go to school. Today she was going to do all of that. So we're learning right here that she just kind of feels left out. So we know that about Ramona. So we know, one, that she also is curious. We know that she's impatient. We know that she likes to have her way. And this kind of makes sense because she's the youngest. And as the youngest, things like that happen. You feel as though the older kids get to do things that you don't get to do. And so she is pretty much acting like a child who is 5 or 6 and who's the youngest. So that's helping us learn more about Ramona. That's letting us know that she's constantly being called a pest. So that can be quite annoying. She doesn't feel as though she is a pest. She just feels as though there's things that she wants to learn and things that she wants to see, things that she wants to do to kind of be in step with her bigger sister. So you just think about, as a younger sibling, if you are a younger sibling, the feeling of being left out and seeing your older sibling and cousins doing whatever, are the fun things, and you want to participate, you want to follow along. So we're going to be thinking about characters, thinking about how they kind of, what kind of connections we have with them, things that they're doing within a text that reminds us of things that we've done or things that we see our family members or our friends doing, and think about, well, why are they doing this? So you just think about right now, Ramona, as we were reading along, did not want to have her sister and her bigger sister take her, her sister and her sister's friend take her to school because she didn't want to be treated like a baby. Think about, why wouldn't she want to be treated like a baby? She's going to school for the first time. If she feels as though she is being treated like a baby, would she belong in school? Because in her mind, only big kids go to school. She's been a little kid for so long time. She doesn't know once you get to school that there's going to be kids that are older than you, and that as a kindergartner, you are considered the baby of the school. So she doesn't know that yet because she's never been to school. So that just lets you kind of get into her mindset of how she perceives school, what she might do when she get to school, how she might act when she get to school. And then some of the things that we read on the back of the book for the summary might make sense. Okay, if you are just tuning in for the first time, go back to Making Inferences and you can read along to see some of the things that Ramona has done.